Hello, I'm Jeanne Pete, and I welcome you back to our show, Better Living. Better Living is brought to you by the Homestead Hope Foundation and is sponsored by Homestead Hospice, where commitment to education and premier hospice care helps patients and families through life's most important journey. Thank you for joining me again this week. I'm Jeanne Pete, and today I am here with Kimball Williams, who you know as a past guest, and I think I talked about her last week as well. You're famous by now, Kimball. Kimball is with me from the Fraternal Order of Eagles. Kimball, thank you for joining me again today.
It's always a pleasure to be with you.
And we are here with Kate Grenald. Did I do that right, Kate?
Grenald.
Grenald, yes. I'm sorry. And Kate is with a very important organization as well, Meals on Wheels, right here in Atlanta, correct?
That's right, Meals on Wheels Atlanta.
So do you want to talk, first of all, introduce our audience to you, Kate. Who are you? How did you get involved in Meals on Wheels? What's your background?
Yeah, so my name is Kate Grenald, and I work at Meals on Wheels Atlanta. I've been there about 2.5 years. I'm the Senior Director of Development. So that means I'm in charge of all of our fundraising, all of our marketing communications, and our volunteer services. So we're about a $4.5 million organization. We serve seniors of Atlanta.
$4.5 million, is that just the Atlanta organization?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So there, of course, Meals on Wheels Atlanta, or Meals on Wheels is a national movement of organizations that serve seniors across the country. There are about 2,000 Meals on Wheels organizations across the country. So we are one of many organizations that are out there serving meals to seniors in need. Here in Atlanta, in our organization, we serve over 650 seniors meals every year. Over 160,000 meals go out annually. Wow. And we have a commercial kitchen at our headquarters, and we produce the meals, and our volunteers deliver the meals to our wonderful seniors. But we also offer lots of programs to serve seniors in Atlanta.
And you mentioned that you've been with Meals on Wheels for 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. How old is Meals on Wheels? How did that get started?
It was founded in 1965, so we're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year, which is really exciting. Yeah, so we've been around a while, and we actually began meal delivery in 1970.
Where was the first, just out of my own curiosity, where was the first meals delivered?
The first, that's a really good question. I don't know who received the actual first meal, but I know in 1970, that's when we initiated the meal delivery program.
Okay.
And earlier this year, we celebrated with Mayor Reed our 3.4 millionth meal delivered.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Meals on Wheels. How does one, if they're in need of getting meals, because I know that this is, I remember I had someone from Meals on Wheels on the show, I guess it might have been about 5 years ago when the economy was really bad, and I know that the Meals on Wheels programs were getting cut.
Right.
Because they are subsidized from the government, and they took that away, and they were really struggling. I know they couldn't take on any new people, and they also had to pull back on some. They didn't have enough meals. So where are you at today with that? Are you growing, or if somebody is in need of this program, are there openings, and what's that process?
Right. So you're correct. A lot of Meals on Wheels organizations do rely on government funding for their meal programs. Our organization, actually, we don't receive very many government funds. So when there were all those cutbacks a few years ago, we weren't impacted as hard as other Meals on Wheels organizations, with the exception that the seniors that they served then came to us. So we did get an influx of people that were needing meals. But if someone is interested in receiving a meal, we have actually a waiting list of over 300 seniors who are...
You do have a waiting list, I wonder.
So, we projected many years ago that we were going to have, with the aging of the boomer generation, an expansion of need in our community for meal services. And in fact, it's grown much quicker than we thought. And whereas 3 or 4 years ago, we would have on any given day, 25 or 30 people on our waiting list. Now we have 300, 350 people on our waiting list. And it's not that we're not moving people off of our waiting list. We're constantly moving people off of our waiting list, but the influx.
The need is greater.
The need is much greater. So that's a challenge.
And where do you get your funds then if the government is not helping your organization at all?
It's private funding, so foundation funding. We do a lot of special events through the years. Through the year, we have a golf tournament and a big gala dinner called A Meal to Remember, and other events throughout the year. But corporate and foundation support. We do get a small amount of government funding for our meals program, and we are very grateful for the government funding that we get for our other program areas, but just not for our meal services.
And are your meals typically seniors that you're providing them for, or is it more than just seniors, like disabled, or is it just seniors?
Our organization just serves seniors, so 60 plus.
Okay.
And we also, because we have so many people on our waiting list, we have an emergency pantry program where we give canned goods, pantry goods to seniors who are on our waiting list or attend our senior centers to hold them over until they can get on our meal program.
That is great that you can do that. So can the community help you with your pantry? Do you rely on them?
I'm sorry, folks. They're probably very confused right now. I forgot to tell you I have a co-host today, and her name is Kimberly Parker. Kimberly's curious and asking some questions of Kate herself, so I'm sorry about that. Go ahead, Kimberly.
So tell me, can the community get involved, Kate?
Absolutely. So we accept canned goods from anyone out in the community, and we've had schools and civic organizations do canned good drives and bring them to us. And so the process for that is just to let us know. They can contact me or one of my colleagues at the organization that you want to do a canned good drive, and then we do have some minimal requirements. We don't want used pantry items. It has to be new. You'd be surprised sometimes. People want to just completely clear out their pantry. And we don't want any items that have MSG, preferably low sodium items,
Right.
Fruits, vegetables, shelf stable milk, those types of things.
Whatever you might serve your grandmother.
Absolutely.
And so the community can help. And what address, or give us your website, give us a phone number, and what is the location and where they could bring a box of goods?
Right. So we're located conveniently in Midtown. We're at 1705 Commerce Drive, Atlanta, 30318. So we're right off Northside and Howell Mill, right off 75. You can go to our website and get more information on this. Our web address is mealsonwheelsatlanta.org.
Now, Kate, you had mentioned your Meals on Wheels Atlanta. What is that coverage area? Because I'm sure there's folks listening that are outside of the Atlanta coverage area, and if they want, there may not be that big of a waiting list. And is that still mealsonwheels.org?
Right. So we serve primarily Fulton County, but we also serve seniors throughout Metro Atlanta. But our primary service area is Fulton County. But like I said, we have programs in Cobb and other counties where we provide programming.
But if somebody were to live in the outskirts of Atlanta, they could just go to mealsonwheels.org and put in their zip code, or I don't know how that works.
Yeah. So if they had any question, they could certainly contact us on who their local Meals on Wheels organization is. We'd be happy to help.
Okay, great. Well, let's talk about the meals and the how-to process. How is it that you deliver these meals, or do the seniors come and pick them up, or how does that work?
Right. So, no, we deliver our meals, and it's really important. A lot of our clients are homebound. They're disabled. They're not able to get out of their homes. And so a part of our program is getting volunteers to deliver our meals. And so if you're interested in volunteering, that's a wonderful way to become engaged in our work. And
maybe make a friend.
Absolutely. And, what we're delivering is more than a meal. we are delivering a connection with the senior. A lot of the times we're the only people, our volunteers are the only people that our volunteers see in a given day, the only person they actually talk to. So we really are an important aspect of their day and their life.
That's true. In a safety aspect. Now, are your volunteers delivering daily, or do they deliver like 3 days worth of meals that day?
Usually we'll deliver 2 days worth.
Okay, so every other day they're being visited.
Correct.
So that's huge. That is not just a meal. You're right. That is peace of mind for loved ones who maybe don't live in that same city. What a service you're offering. And that is safety. They go in and they see that something's not quite right. They can call, or if you're not answering the door, they can call 911 and just check on you. So that's important as well.
Absolutely. That's a huge part of it. And our volunteers are continually giving us feedback on, if so-and-so was home, or if maybe they were looking like they needed more assistance. And we have wonderful staff that are able to follow up.
Even just to get resources. Maybe it's home health, maybe it's hospice care, whatever that may be.
Absolutely.
Well, that's wonderful. At least they have eyes and ears checking in on them. And also a companion. What a gift you are giving if you are volunteering for an organization such as Meals on Wheels, because you may be the only connection these people have to the outside world, and such an important connection. So again, like Kate said, if you are looking to volunteer, please get in touch with them. What is the phone number they could reach you at?
The number to call if you're interested in volunteering is 404-351-3889.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. And is it a meal a day, 2 meals a day? How does that work?
We currently give 1 meal a day.
Okay, and is it free, or do they pay for it at all?
Our services are free, yes.
Okay,
So.
but I think I recall, because I had interviewed somebody from, must have been another Meals on Wheels, that sometimes it is a small payment.
There is, we have a sliding scale, so based on your ability to pay for our services, we do have a sliding scale. However, all of our clients fall well below any poverty level that, national or local poverty levels. So we don't ask them to pay.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because I'm curious. How much does it cost to feed one person? Are you feeding 5 times a week, or how many meals are they getting?
Well, it varies for some of our clients, but typically they get 5 to 7 meals a week. And it costs us about $2,000 a year, or $5.75 a meal. So that $5.75 includes the cost of delivering it, kind of the overhead costs, as well as the direct food costs.
Here's where my brain's going. I don't know if you do this or not, but you know how you have these organizations sponsor a child around the world. Do you have like a sponsorship program, sponsor a person for Meals on Wheels? I think that's a wonderful donation. You're looking to figure out who you can donate to. Well, come holiday time, that $2,000 is going to go to feed somebody for an entire year.
Yeah, it's amazing. We have incredible donors. Of course, we're always looking for new resources and new support of the organization, and people can allocate their funding directly for our meal services program. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Or if you have a loved one that you need to have meals delivered and you want to pay, then you have the volunteers that can deliver the food, and the loved one can pay and have that peace of mind and have that person checked up on. Lord, that's well worth the $2,000 a year.
Yeah.
Wow. Or even sponsor another person.
Absolutely. So, yes, you're absolutely right. It's I think it is a peace of mind for a lot of family members who have loved ones who need assistance. And
again, something I didn't know that I have learned through your interview and my interview a couple years ago with another Meals on Wheels is they do all act a little differently. It's not completely consistent and the same throughout, depending on the counties that they're serving and where they're running out of, and whether the government is subsidizing or not, and how many people are able to pay versus how many of the population are in need of that free assistance. So if you know someone that needs, maybe it's a neighbor, maybe it's a relative, somebody that you know that needs the help of a Meals on Wheels program, you can go to that website. And what do you put in, a zip code or a county, or how does that work, Kate?
Yeah, if you go to the Meals on Wheels America website, they can direct you to the local Meals on Wheels program. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, all Meals on Wheels programs run very differently. Some are much smaller than ours, some are much larger. We offer comprehensive senior services. So in addition to our meal services program, we also have a home repair services program. We manage 7 senior centers throughout Fulton County. We also have an adult day health center for our clients with Alzheimer's and dementia that's opened Monday through Friday.
Wow, because I know there's a shortage in adult day centers for some reason or another. I don't know, is it heavily regulated, or I don't know why, but there's just not enough of them to go around, and there's a lot of folks that need that support during the day so their loved ones can work.
Absolutely, and give the caregivers a respite as well. And we have a wonderful program that's on site at our headquarters. So, it's open from 8 to 5, but we also have buses that pick up and take home our clients for that program as well.
And that's located, where is that center?
Our headquarters is at 1705 Commerce Drive.
Right
here in Atlanta.
Midtown?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is that, I'm sure there's a cost to the all-day
There is
center.
a cost. There is a cost. And again, there's a sliding scale for that as well, depending on your need.
And are you full right now, or do you have vacancies?
We have room, yes.
You have room. So if you're interested in getting in touch with, it's still Meals on Wheels, but you're providing adult daycare, what phone number should they call for that?
Again, if they could call 404-351-3889 and just ask for the Adult Day Health Center, then we put them right through. And Brett Perryman is the director of that program, and he's done a fantastic job of really creating a program that meets the needs of our seniors and accommodates the caregivers as well.
That's wonderful. And you did say you also run some senior centers?
Yeah, 7 seniors,
Wow.
7 throughout Fulton County, yep. And those are open daily, Monday through Friday, and we offer a hot meal in the middle of the day and lots of wellness activities, whether it's exercise or arts and crafts. They always are going on trips around the city.
It's very active. I know my
These are
mom
for
moved
active
here
adults.
from Boston, joined the senior center. They're always doing something. They have more fun than I do, I think.
Yeah, they have a great time. So
We should call bingo on the buses, Kimball.
Absolutely. As long as it's bingo, it works for the Eagles. Thank you very much. We don't care. We'll do it.
Speaking
love
of
bingo.
Kimball, you've been so quiet. I don't even know this, Kimball.
It wasn't my turn. I'm trying to learn my turn.
So, Kimball, I know you're here with the Fraternal Order of Eagles, and the connection here with Kate from Meals on Wheels. You are sponsoring Meals on. Why don't we talk a little bit about Fraternal Order of Eagles and how that all works, and how you're connected with Kate with Meals on Wheels?
We are doing an international food raising event, which is called People Helping Pantries, which is based on our international slogan of people helping people. Well, I had read a story in a magazine called Hometown News about hunger amongst the elderly, and almost brought me to tears because they told the story of a grandmother, because I don't think people really remember that a lot of grandparents are raising their grandkids.
That's right.
So the food, all of a sudden, you're not working, and due to whatever situation, you have to feed more people with less wherewithal. And it told the story of a grandmother and child actually having to share a can of corn. Well, I said, that's not on our watch. That's not acceptable. We're going to do what we can do. So the People Helping Pantries came about because our leadership, our Grand Madam President Penny Skinner and our Grand Worthy Chuck Lang, came to an event that we did last year, and were so moved until they put their efforts together and decided that every Eagle Airy is going to raise canned goods
And an eagle area is an eagle location.
It's an eagle location, and it's called that because an eagle's nest is called an eyrie. We are in 48 states and 9 Canadian provinces, and I'm just promising you, hunger is in all of those places. So they decided they wanted to do this, and with their incredible leadership, with their loving support, we need to raise 1 million cans. So every local area has been charged to pick charities. It's supposed to be a charity, but anyone that knows me knows that one of anything is just no fun. So we have 4 groups that we are going to help. And, one of our groups that we are working with, it's unusual because all they need are blankets. It's called Blankets of Love, and they actually go into the woods. They go on the streets, and they cover people. So we are sharing our canned goods with Quinn House, Meals on Wheels. There's an organization called Reflections on Trinity, and they actually do a pantry every Friday. So every Friday, people are coming to get food from them. So hunger is something that it is the most demeaning thing that I believe can happen to a person. So it is my honor on behalf of the Fraternal Order of Eagles to team up with Meals on Wheels because, you are your brother's keeper.
It's always a pleasure to have you, Kimball. You're so passionate. You get me motivated. And I hope to motivate our audiences because you're right. I think, Kate, you said it. No, it was you, Kimball. There is nowhere that you've been that hunger is not an issue. And these poor seniors, a lot of times the ailments hit them. They cannot leave their homes. A lot of times we don't even know the numbers of seniors that are hungry. And to have these programs to reach out to make sure that these folks are fed and that they are safe it is a much greater price than $2,000 a year. So again, just to wrap up here, because we never do have enough time, I'm here with Kate Grenald with Meals on Wheels, and you can reach them whether you want to volunteer to deliver these meals or whether you know someone that's in need or you have interest in learning about their adult day center, or you want to join a senior center. This is a great organization that reaches out to seniors in many, many capacities. You can contact Kate at 404-351-3889. Is that right? Did
That's
I get
right.
that correct?
That's got it.
And also, I cannot forget Kimball. Kimball is with a international organization called the Fraternal Order of Eagles. It's women-based, isn't it?
Well, no, we are both. We are men.
you're both.
And we have to
Okay.
get the boys in there. Chuck Lang's office will call me. Okay, Scott, I know you heard that. She messed that up. I didn't. But I want to take the opportunity and the time to thank News Talk because it is people like you caring enough to let what we do go out. So yes, we need men, we need women, and we need everybody to come play bingo.
And don't forget that right now, there is the People Helping Pantries drive going on all the way through October 3rd.
October 3rd, internationally. Now, my organization is located at 1381 Chestnut Drive. So anyone listening, on October the 3rd, every area in the nation is having a one-day event. Please join us. Let's kind of turn things around for Meals on Wheels because our goal in our each location is to raise 20,000 cans. And just remember, that senior could be your grandmother, your mother, or by the grace of God someday, it could be you.
Right. So thank you so much. Again, for more information, you can go to www.mealsonwheelsatlanta.org or on the Fraternal Order of Eagles, www.foe.com. I'm Jeanne Pete. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed day and week ahead. And listen here, same time next week and every week. Homestead Hope Foundation is your resource for a healthy life. God bless.